Hi, Blaine.
Hello. I'm going to read to you. I'm going to be the part of narrator in the Three Small Boars, written by Andrew Rosas, based on the fairy tale. If you can open your scripts to page 1.
Yes, sir.
Once upon a time, in the shadow of a tall mountain lived 3 small boars. The first small boar, the eldest, was wise and firm and didn't abide the foolhardy franchises of his younger brothers who would roll in the mud.
Fancies!
Can we start over? Fancies of his younger brothers who would roll in the mud of the hot springs near their home after dark.
Brothers, come inside. It's not safe after dark. The night is home to unholy creatures that will lick your bones clean.
Ooh. So we're doing accents. Cool.
Yeah, I'm doing an accent.
You worry too much. The night is young and the mud keeps us warm from the chill off the mountain.
The second small boar was brash and bold and didn't heed his brother's words.
Yes, brother. Can't we stay out a small longer?
The third small boar was meek and fragile.
Oops.
But loved to wallow in the bubbling earth every night.
Get inside this instant. The forest of the mountain cloaks our fiercest enemies.
The 2 youngest boars trudged inside the stone home. The first boar kept his gaze on the forest beyond the water. Just to look upon the trees drew the warmth out of his first small boar's breath. The wet wood of the pines became a black curtain of sorrow, unpierced by the strong light of the moon overhead. Whatever evil lurked there called to him. The primal desire for annihilation was soothed by looking at it. As if the death drive was locked away in the deepest part of the boar's heart was coaxed out of his hiding and given free rein of his most immediate thoughts.
Brother, are you coming in?
Yes, of course. It's not safe out here.
The 3 small boars sat and ate at their modest table. The wood in the fire crackled, and the cold wind whistled through the tiny cracks in the thick stone of the house, which produced a dissonant whine.
That's me eating.
Suddenly, above the plaintive piping of the stones, cut an angry and heart-stopping howl. The light from the fire crackled in the house as if a specter had quickly passed by the mantle. The boars were frozen in their seats.
What kind of creature could make such a noise? He's got a breathing problem. It's very serious.
The forest knows. The darkness below the treetops births all the manner of horrors. It feeds the creatures' lust for blood and sharpens their claws and teeth for the getting.
The boars moved delicately to the tiny window of the house and looked out into the night. There, at the edge of the woods, glinting the tendrils of moonlight, the boar stared at the eyes of an immense wolf.
Oh.
Its body was obscured by the cloak of trees, but the boars could estimate its size by the height of its eyes from the ground. The beast must have been massive. And at the very contemplation of what abomination lay beyond the eyes, the boars were chilled to the bone.
Brother, are we safe? Surely the creature would swallow us whole.
We're safe. The stones that make this house are from high on the mountain, and the door is made of the mightiest wood from deep in that dark forest. You'll never get in here, wolf. This is the safest place in the dale.
Be quiet, brother. Don't tempt the creatures of the woods.
The younger boars looked to their brother with shame on their faces and then turned back to the forest. The wolf was gone. Bam! A thunderous force struck the door, which shook the house. Dust rained from the hinges and the stately entrance. Bam! Another brute strike reverberated through the floor, but the door didn't budge. A murderous growl rumbled from outside. A river of fetid, viscous saliva ran under the door and pooled around the second small boar's hoof.
Don't fear, brothers. Our home is our salvation. Stand strong.
The boars huddled together by the fire. The banging stopped and the growl was snuffed out, reclaimed by the tenebrous forest.
Is it over?
Brother, it's over. That wolf is no match for our stronghold.
The boars began to chortle and snort. The chorus of laughter was joined by a fourth diabolical harmony which tampered the levity back down to the boars' throats. The wolf stood at the edge of the woods, cackling a blasphemous laugh. Its eyes had become green embers. Suddenly, from behind the wolf, an even deeper sound rushed forth. An earth-rending roar thrashed the trees and split the timber into jagged fragments. The wolf summoned a deep magic from the very heart of the mountain, as if the bones of the gods were being broken, releasing a marrow of wind and terror. The gusts pummeled the boars' house into oblivion. The once strong stones became as fragile as ash, and the mighty door burned where it stood without a flame.
Brother, help!
Yes, brother, help us!
The first small boar couldn't answer. The walls of the house burned and took flight into a tornadic frenzy. The boars were ripped from each other's arms and violently tossed to the air. Their cries could not be heard above the din as one by one their plump bodies were impaled on the jagged timber surrounding the house. The boars twitched and spluttered blood and looked down at their skewered bodies with cold eyes. The wind died as quickly as it began. The first small boar looked over at his mewling brothers and cried as the wolf began stripping the flesh from their bones. The end.
Did not see that ending coming.
So the third small boar lives, right?
No, I lived.